Yes, Alina. Is Alina present?
Yes, yes, sir.
Mute your mic, please. Mic को mute कर दें. Start.
Sir, vocabulary games. This is Alina Khan from MA Semester 1. Learner depends on vocabulary as their first resource because vocabulary play a great role for learner in acquiring a language. Vocabulary is an important helps in the language development. Learner depends on vocabulary. A rich vocabulary makes the skill of listening, speaking, and writing easier to perform. So next slide. The objective of teaching vocabulary. The essential objective is for the student to acquire, remember, and meaningful use newly learned words, which will help them in communication competence. Why we use games? So the reason behind it, like it brings relaxation and fun for students. It also promotes student active participation in problem solving and critical thinking. It also helps the student to remember the new words. Sir, next slide. Pictionary. So this is the first game which I find out very interesting. Pictionary. It is a classic game in which players try to guess what other players are playing. So there are a few procedure to play to know this game. So firstly, what we have to do is split the class into two teams. Have one student from each team come to the board and assign them one vocabulary word to draw. So the student must convey the word to his or her team using only drawings. A student cannot use words, symbol, or hand gesture, and limit the time for 1 minute. And then, which if team guesses the correctly, will get the point. So next. Charades. It is just similar to the Pictionary. However, in Pictionary, in Pictionary we have to draw, but in charade we have to act. It is just like Pictionary that we have to divide the class into teams, and one person from each team chooses a piece of paper and act out the words. The team must guess the correct word, and then the team will receive a point simply. Sir, next.
Can you give any example?
Sir, like dumb charade, like in like mostly we also do in movies, like अगर आप मूवी कोई कर रहे हो गेम प्ले.
Okay.
Sir, word association game. It is also very interesting game and one of my favorite. It is a very simple game. A word association game is a game in which a word is given to a student and then that student must say an associated word or phrase. This is the simplest way to play word association game in class is to simply give one student a word and ask that student to say the first thing that comes to your mind. You can see there is an example which is given is cat. So cat, the first thing which comes to your mind is dog because cat is an animal. So dog is also animal. You can also say that cat or milk क्योंकि बिल्लियां दूध पीती है गोश्त खाती है मीट. So anything that comes to your mind, you have to say immediately. And if you want to make this game more interesting, so you can also set a time limit so that it will. So that if you by placing a time limit, it will make a very fast-paced game. So fourth one is synonyms. It is also interesting. So what we have to do simply, we have to break the class into two groups, assign each group half of the vocabulary word, and have a student use a dictionary and internet to discover synonyms for each vocabulary word. Then have the group take turns reading the list of synonyms to the other group. See if the group can figure out what the word is based on the synonym. So it will also help to discover new words for the students. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Were there any other games in the book or only these four?
Sir, there are several games, but I personally love this one. But you can, if there are puzzle story you can play with our kids, like simply just give the scenario and tell the students to to make a puzzle and make a sentences accordingly by using the vocabulary words. Or you can simply play with hangman. This is a very common and very nice and easiest game. And you can also, like, for increasing knowledge, you can use prefix and suffix games also. That is also like, it will also help to increase the knowledge of a person. So yeah, there's so many, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Is Malaika present?
Yes, sir.
Shaban Mustaqim present?
Sir, Malaika present.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Shaban. After Malaika, I'm playing your.
Assalamu alaikum to all. My name is Malaika Muhammad Salim Jahangir and I'm from MA semester first. So today my topic is intensive and extensive reading. Sir, please change the slide. Okay. Intensive reading. The meaning of intensive reading is to read with full concentration and complete focus. Intensive reading is used on shorter texts in order to extract specific information. It includes very close, accurate reading for your detail. When you read intensively, you are fully engaged in the material you are reading over. Each word, each sentence, focusing on the vocabulary. It's sometimes called narrow reading. So, sir, next slide, please. Benefit of intensive reading. So because intensive reading is challenging, you should know what you get out of it. With intensive reading, you will learn new vocabulary words, gain a deeper understanding of grammar, better understand the language, grow your ability to read in your target language. So the next is characteristics of intensive reading. It is ideally a classroom-based reading where the reader is deeply involved in looking inside the text. The reader identifies the key vocabulary. This type of reading aims to enhance the language knowledge instead of simply practicing the skill of reading. The materials of intensive reading. So change the slide. Okay, so intensive reading materials are report, contracts, new articles, and short pieces of text such as short stories. Usually very short text, not more than 500 words in length, chosen from level of difficulty and usually by the teacher. Choose to provide the type of reading and skill. The next is extensive reading. So change the slide. Extensive reading, it's best to think extensive reading as fun. Extensive reading is used to obtain a general understanding of a subject, and it includes reading longer text for pleasure. Extensive reading involves learner reading text for enjoyment and develop general reading skill. Brown explained that extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of a text. Benefit of extensive reading. Extensive reading offers a lot of benefit. Here are a few of them. More exposure to the language, including style and vocab, required less effort, more freedom because you can read when you want, and enjoyable. Character of intensive reading. Students select what they want to read, and they have the freedom to stop reading materials that fail to interest them. The purpose of reading are usually related to pleasure and information. Reading is individual and silent. Reading speed is usually faster than slow. Materials. So the first material is graded reader. The second is text on the same topic. Reading more than one text on the same topic allows students to bring more background knowledge to each new text read. Third one is authentic material, such as newspaper, magazine, and fourth is web sources. So the extensive reading is mainly used when an overall knowledge is required on a subject, as no focus is made on detailed study. On the other hand, extensive reading is used where due attention is required to learn specific detail about the topic or subject under study. Thank you. सारा हो गया.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
एक्सक्यूज मी सर.
Yes.
सर मेरा नाम आपने लिया है क्योंकि मेरे पास पहले लाइट नहीं थी.
Name.
अनीता सत्तार.
अभी just wait.
सर मंसूर अख्तर.
Wait. Abdul Sattar. Abdul Sattar.
Yes sir. Yes, I am here.
Yes, start. Start, please. Start, please. Your voice not coming, Mr. Abdul Sattar. Start. We are losing time.
Sir, please next slide.
आवाज ही नहीं
Speaking
आपकी आ
means
रही तो
conveys the
हाँ.
message.
Voice is not coming clearly.
Speaking means yes sir. Speaking means conveys the message through the words of mouth. This skill is also called the oral skill or communicative skill. Sir, next please. The communicative language teaching is a method. In this method, the learner are the focus on the main goal of the learner to achieve. The main goal of the student will have opportunity to communicate each other in the target language. In this matter, the student are learner are the center point, not teacher. Teacher just facilitate the student, just give the material task to the student. So next, please. So these activities, these are the speaking activities. Discussion. The student may aim to arrive at a conclusion, share ideas about the event, or find solution in their discussion group. Whatever the aim is, the student should always be encouraged to ask questions, paraphrase the idea, and express and support and check for the clarification, and so on. In role play, the second my point, student pretend they are in the various social contexts and have a variety of social roles. The teacher give information to the learners such as who are they and what are they and what they think or feel. And third point is information gap. Information gap, students are supposed to be working in the pair. One student will have the information that other partner does not have. The partner will share the information. These activities are also effective because everybody has the opportunity to talk excellently in the target language. Then my point is storytelling. Storytelling, student can briefly summarize the tale or story they heard from somebody beforehand, or they may create their own story to their classmate. Storytelling fosters creative thinking. It also helps a student to express idea in the format of beginning and development and ending, including the character and setting story, and has to have. And another point is interview. Interview is also conducting interview with the people. A student have a chance to practice their speaking ability, not only in the class but also outside, and help them become socialized. So next, please.
बोलिए
Sir, is interview.
रोल प्ले का बताएं.
Role.
Tell about role play.
So role play students in their various social contexts and have social roles. Teacher give information to the student and such who are they and what are they and what they think and how they feel, what they feel. Sir, in interview, student conduct interview from someone outside of the class or any place. That is interview.
That is interview, not any other thing. And there are many different
Yes,
types of...
conducting people give the student to chance to practice their speaking ability, not only in the class but also outside, and it helps become the socialized.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So what's your name? Abdul Sattar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Abdul Kadir. Is Abdul Kadir present?
Yes, sir. Present.
Yeah, playing your one. Start.
Sir, I'm waiting for the screen.
Start.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself, Abdul Qadir. Guys, today my topic is speaking activity. Next, please. Let me clear first what is speaking. Speaking is the action of conveying information or your word to convey your message, your feelings, to share your ideas. It's called speaking. Activity. What is activity? The condition in which things are happening or being done. Means anything or any condition in which any action being performed or being done, that is called an activity. What is speaking activity? And the act of speaking or the act of expressing or describing thoughts, feeling, and perception by the articulation of word. It's mean that when we use word to express our feelings, to describe anything, thoughts or ideas, and showing our perception, that's called speaking activity. Next, please. Sir, next, please. Here I'm trying to say important speaking activity. Here I show the first one is discussion. Discussion is very important activity because it creates an interactive environment. It's based on one topic. Discussion is the process in which the students are sitting together, choose one topic and giving ideas and shares their views and point of view. Discussion is good, sharing ideas and advice for getting conclusion. Second one is role play. It is an activity in which a student play a role of any character. Like any character means and that you are a doctor, he is a patient, you deal with like that, and he has this type of cause. Means it's all like a play. Then they perform and acting, use of dialogue. In this role play, students are using dialogue. Next one is information gap, in which every student is showing their information, is conveying their information, sharing their information. Second point is everybody has opportunity to target language, means in which every student have clear opportunity to talk, to share their ideas, point of views. It's contain a specific topic. When we talk about information gap, it contains one topic, and on one topic we all students have to give information, give ideas. Fourth one, it serves many purpose such as solving problem, collection information. It's mean that information gap is used for any topic. When we talk about any topic, we collect many ideas, we get any solution, any conclusion. Fourth one is brainstorming. What is brainstorming? Brainstorming is the process of when a teacher gives you a topic on the spot, and teacher give you a limited time to think and to define this topic. Produce ideas and giving topic in a limited time, in which teacher give you a limited time and give you a topic to think about that. Learn, generate. Next one is storytelling. Students summarize a story which they heard before, and then they create their own story, in which a student hear before any story and then create their own story and develop creative thinking. It's an activity which create any developing creative thinking, like student make their own story by their mind, and then he come to all class, and entire class he telling the story. This activity is not only improve speaking activity, but also create an interest in student, because story is very interesting and students like the listening story and telling about the story. Next one is picture describing. What is picture describing? In which the group of picture or use one group of student or one student has divided different pictures. Then they are discussing one picture about that, what is the picture is showing, what is the picture is saying, what is the message is behind the picture. Then they are one spoken person come and define the whole picture, that what is the message behind that, what the picture is saying. Interview. What is interview? Interview is an activity of asking question and answer, in which teacher give a specific topic to introduce yourself about that. So, and then one and another student asking question from one and they're replying him. This activity build up the students' confidence, and this activity also not only build up but also teach that student how to introduce yourself. Next, please. Sir, next, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please take my presentation.
Okay, now Mansoor Akhtar. Mansoor Akhtar present. Mansoor Akhtar present.
सर मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन ले लें.
Just wait. मंसूर अख्तर प्रेजेंट. फिर बाद में नहीं कहेगा कि सर आप मैंने तो 4 घंटे इंतजार किए, 3 घंटे इंतजार किए. राइट नाउ आई एम आस्किंग फॉर यू बट यू आर नॉट हियर. मंसूर अख्तर प्रेजेंट. नो. फजल खालिक.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Fazal
Yes,
Khalik,
sir.
I am playing your one.
Yes, sir.
Start. Start, please.
Assalamu alaikum to all. This is me, Fazal Khalik, and today I would like to discuss my topic, writing activities. Next, please, sir.
Just wait. Yes.
First of all, I would like to tell you what is writing. So writing is the process of using symbols to communicate thoughts and ideas in a readable form. So to improve our writing and to write clearly, it is essential to understand the basic system of a language. In English, this includes knowledge of grammar, punctuation, and sentence structure. Along with that, we need a practice and some activities. So I would like to tell you some of the writing activities. So let's get started. Next, sir. So next. The first activities is listen, write activities. In this activity, we have two types: story writing. The first one is story writing. So what is story writing? So in this activity, the teacher reads a story, or the class listen to an audio story. After student make a storyboard and draw a picture, then they write the story based on those pictures. And the second one is visualization. In this activity, the student close their eyes and the teacher describe a scene, play some nice background music, and then the student write and describe the scene they imagine, sharing their scene afterward with the class or classmate. Watch, write activities. In this activities, I have three types. Number one is commercial. So in commercial, students watch a TV commercial and then they write their own script based on that commercial, but focused on different product. And the second one is newscast weather reports. In these activities, students watch the daily news or weather report. Students write in groups or individually, and then they write their own version of news for that week or day, then perform for the class like a real news reporter. And the last one is travel videos. In these activities, look, write activities. We have two types in these activities: picture, slideshows, and description. As far as the first one is concerned, so it is very powerful way to provide context and background for any writing. But before these activities, we make sure to use attractive and stimulating and, if possible, real photos to prompt student writing. In this activity, student can describe a scene or they can describe a series of pictures from slideshow. The second one is description. In these activities, we show students show a selection of fairly similar picture. Students are showed a selection of fairly similar picture, and then the students describe in writing one of the picture. They read, and the other student listen and guess which picture is being discussed. Next one, sir. Next one, sir. Read, write activities. In these activities, we also have two types: opinion essay and giving advice. Opinion essay. This is an activity in which we select an article that students find interesting or controversial. After reading and discussing, students can respond with a formal essay or piece of writing, reflecting their opinion. And the second one is giving advice. In these activities, students read a problem provided by the teacher, and then the student write their own response. Next one, sir. Think, write activities. We also have, we have also three types in this: decoding and translating. So decoding or translating, it is a very easy and simple way in which we are translating a passage into English, and it is proved to be very good, especially for high-level students. And text, write activities.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Mansoor Akhtar yaar.
Mansoor Akhtar, where are you?
सर हाथ धोने चला गया था, खांसी आ गई थी.
Start.
So, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mansoor Akhtar. Today I am talking about the vocabulary games and activities. So, next. So, what is vocabulary? Vocabulary is an important part of every subject. There are always words that students need to learn in order to better understand the concept being taught. Unfortunately, many students struggle to remember what unfamiliar vocabulary words mean or feel intimidated by the idea of simply memorizing definitions. Next. So there are many ways to learn the vocabularies. First is antonym and synonym. It is very important game in the class. Teacher should apply this game in your classroom through antonym and synonym. In this game, break the class into two groups, assign each group half of the vocabulary words, have students use a dictionary or the internet discover synonyms and antonyms for each vocabulary words, then have the groups take new reading list of synonym and order group. Sees if orders can figure out what the word is based on its synonyms. The next.
You're reading, not explaining.
Sir, I am starting. I am explain then read. And second one is Pictionary. It is also very important activities about the vocabulary. The Pictionary teacher teacher divided class into two groups, and each member of a group go to the board and make a drawing, and student guess the picture uh, pitch, uh, vocabularies of the picture which student had drawn on the board. Though split the class into two teams, have any student for each team came to the board, assign them one vocabulary word to draw. The student team should try to guess what vocabulary word is being drawn. Next, sir. Charades. So charades is like a Pictionary. The difference between both of these are in the Pictionary. There is a picture to draw and guess the vocabulary, but the charade is the game of indication. The student should indicate and the other student guess the vocabularies. So next. And it is also an important activity about the vocabularies, root, prefix, and suffix. Teacher should give student some root words, and in the side of the root word, teacher also give student to some prefix and suffixes, and with the help of this prefix and suffix, uh, with the help of this prefix and suffix, student make their with the help of those root words, student will form new words to regain to build up their vocabularies. Next, sir. Later, scramble. In this activity, whatever teacher teacher learn about the lesson in the classroom. So student take a list of words that your student have recently learned and what a scramble version of each on the board. Allow student to unscramble the word on the paper. The first one to finish describing all the word wins. Next, sir. Chalkboard acronym. So our teacher should write a word vertically on the board, and then vertically means straight, and a student came up on at a time to write a word starting with each letter of a vertical word. For example, the word is cup, cup, and then student make C for cute, U for hunter, and P for peacock. The next, the game of the line. In this game, the teacher divide the class into two groups. Draw the line on the center of the board. One student of each group will come in front of the board. The student of a group A will write a board on this column, and a student of a group B will write a word using the last letter of group A word. It keeps the class more interesting and build student vocabulary power. For example, group A, yellow, and group B student take the W, make water, and group A make R, radius, and S means search, group B. So next, other activities, other vocabularies
Thank you
activities
very much.
are.
Thank you. 5 मिनट की वही आपकी presentation होनी चाहिए. You are making, and many students have made more than 5 minutes presentation. Thank you.
सर बाकियों ने भी तो बहुत सारा बोला था.
हाँ, तभी जो ये बहुत सारा जो 5 मिनट से ज़्यादा जो है ये बेहतर नहीं है. ठीक है, अपने आप को टाइम के सिलसिले में टाइम मैनेजमेंट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. 5
सर मुझसे तो ज्यादा टाइम लिया था बाकियों ने.
भाई देखो, बाकियों के लिए भी कह रहा हूँ, अभी मैंने सिर्फ आपका नहीं कहा कि आप मैं कह रहा हूँ बॉसों ने टाइम को जो है वो कंसिडर नहीं किया, तो टाइम को कंसिडर करें. 6 मिनट तक जाए, लेकिन डोंट गो बियॉन्ड दिस, राइट?
थैंक यू. लेकिन सर लास्ट स्लाइड देख लेना मेरा एक बार, ठीक है सर? वो इम्पोर्टेंट था बहुत. ठीक.
ओके
सर. Sir?
Yes.
Sir, Mary Shahzad.
Yeah, but now I think no time left. Now I will have your presentation tonight. अब जो है रात में लूँगा, अभी जो है presentation नहीं ले सकूँगा because I have other classes.
सर मेरी presentation ले लेना.
अभी कोई presentation नहीं ले सकता because I have only 2 minutes of this session. But now I will have your presentation tonight. आज रात में जो है तकरीबन 10:30 के बाद आप लोग की प्रेजेंटेशन लूँगा. सो आई वुड लाइक ऑल ऑफ यू टू गिव योर प्रेजेंटेशन. ठीक है, ये ऐसा वक्त है कि उस पर बिजली भी होती है और अपने मोबाइल फोन वगैरह को चार्ज करके रख लीजिएगा. इज दैट क्लियर? सो टुनाइट आफ्टर 10:30.
10:30 ओके.
हमारे पास सुबह से लाइट नहीं थी, अभी तो आई है. अब रात को अल्लाह करे हो. फिर
बस आप अपना मोबाइल चार्ज कर लीजिएगा. मोबाइल की आप लोगों से मोबाइल की ज़रूरत होनी चाहिए. आप लोगों से मैं प्रेजेंटेशन लेके खुद ही मैं इसको प्ले कर रहा हूँ. इसका एक बुनियादी मकसद ये भी कि आप लोग अगर खुद प्ले करेंगे तो आपको फिर इसके लिए लैपटॉप की या कंप्यूटर की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. बट व्हेन आई प्ले सो इट विल दिस प्रॉब्लम हैज़ बीन सॉल्व, राइट? तो मैं आपके लिए प्ले करूँगा. यू हैव टू जस्ट रीड, एक्सप्लेन द स्लाइड. जो आपके पास स्लाइड आ रही है उसको एक्सप्लेन कीजिएगा. इंस्टेड ऑफ रीडिंग फ्रॉम एनीवेयर एल्स, यू नीड टू एक्सप्लेन द स्लाइड. यस.
Is it possible to continue the presentation tomorrow? Because at night, sir, most of the students would sleep early. They have to wake up.
कराची में कौन सोता है? अल्लाह के बंदे.
Yes, sir, I agree. Sir, 10:30 is too late.
10:30 is not too late. मेरे रात के
सर अगर आप 10:30 बजे स्टार्ट करेंगे तो ये रात के 2 बजे तक जा सकता है.
तो कोई मसला नहीं ना. एक दिन अगर आप करने से क्या जाता है इसमें यार. लोग रातों में हम लोग कौन कराची में रात को 12 से पहले सोता? मुझे आप खुद बता दें. मैं अगर कहूँगा शाम को अगर मैं कहूँगा तो बॉस से कहेंगे सर हमारी जॉब से हमें ये मसला है, हमें वो मसला है. पर शाम में लोड शेडिंग होती है. कम से कम इस वक्त लोड शेडिंग
अच्छा ठीक है सर. फिर 12 बजे तक आप रात को कंटिन्यू कीजिएगा. अगर 12 बजे के बाद भी स्टूडेंट्स रह गए तो प्लीज वो फिर आप मॉर्निंग में ले लीजिएगा.
12 बजे तक कर लेंगे. उसके बाद जो फिर उसको मैं आपको बता दूंगा टुमारो और डे आफ्टर टुमारो, या फिर हम कल रात में. लेकिन अब इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि आप इंटेंशनली अपने आप को लेफ्ट कर दें कि चलो हम तो बाद में. ऐसा नहीं होगा. तो यहाँ तो असल में अपॉर्चुनिटी से बहुत से लोग नाजायज़ फ़ायदा भी उठाते हैं कि अब मैंने इनसे कहते हैं चलो हम जितने कवर कर लेंगे. क्या होगा कि उतने ही स्टूडेंट्स आएंगे तो 12 तो दूर की बात है, पर थोड़ी देर में सब खत्म हो जाएंगे. तो मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि आप सब लोगों ने रात में प्रेजेंटेशन देनी. वो मेरा अपने ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि मैं उसको किस तरह से करूँ आगे. ठीक है. तो कराची में हम रह रहे हैं, कोई हम गाँव में नहीं रह रहे कि